Five, four, three, two, one. Gamer Words Podcast Episode 3. And the gamer word of the day? Some damaged armor, Peter. You ever get damaged armor,
Oh,
man?
yeah, I seen ESPN news
Hmm.
when Germany Lin was LINSANITY was happening.
Yeah.
It's called Chink in the Armor.
Oh.
It's a great title by ESPN.
Hmm.
I suggest people look up the article.
And why did they say that? Was he
I don't
getting
know.
defeated? Was he getting
No,
1v1'd?
I think so. I think he lost a game and then they put it as a title. I have
Damn.
no idea why they. It's so crazy that someone approved that article title.
Yeah, not just someone, a bunch of people.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know how people don't see the problem with it, and
Hmm.
then especially a league with so many like
Mm-hmm.
diverse people, and how you can. I guess there's not a lot of Asians, right? So maybe they think it's okay.
Hey, what do Asians have to do with damaged armor? I don't get it, man.
The C word is
All the
not a
damaged
great
armor
word.
I've been seeing is in Ukraine lately.
Yeah. Well, Russian ones too, actually. We should
Yeah.
talk about the
Well,
war.
they're in Ukraine, even though they are Russian.
Yeah.
So you were right about your prediction.
Yep.
Russia did
There.
invade.
Yep.
Why didn't you warn the Ukrainian people? If you knew this was going to happen, why
Mhm.
didn't you warn them?
Well, first of all, international phone bill is kind of expensive,
Hmm. What about email?
and
Discord?
I forgot. I forgot about Discord or Skype.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm too far away. When I called them, it's already too late. So, I, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about the invasion.
Yeah, how's it
I
going so
think.
far?
Okay. Well, did you DC?
No. I forgot to open the thing. It's
Yeah.
fixed now.
I think Russia expected Ukraine to surrender really fast.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent up a lot of units to Kiev trying to just take it, but they didn't expect Ukraine to put up so much resistance,
Yeah.
I think.
The president staying there with the people, I think, is a huge deal.
Even the previous president stayed, the old guy.
Oh, did he?
Uh, I think he's a very
Oh,
rich
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
He's like a
yeah.
billionaire.
Yeah, I know who you're referring to.
Yeah, and he also stayed, which I think it's a big morale boost.
Yeah,
I, I
those
I saw the
those
tweet.
people staying and being involved in it, I think, really inspires everybody to fight for real.
Yeah, I saw a tweet by I guess I assume it's American. Here, I'll send you the picture. Maybe you can put it on the screen. Is it just a woman that says that Ukraine shouldn't fight back? I think it's a absolute disgrace to
Ukraine
telling.
shouldn't fight back. No one should. Let it go. If Ukraine fights back, it will be devastating. The outcome won't be any different. They can't fight Russia. No one can. No, not even the US could fight Russia.
Yeah, I think the last sentence is
Best to let
way
it go
more
for now and use
egregious.
democracy in the future. Don't kill yourselves. And how did
Like
people
I can
react to that
understand
tweet?
you don't want to, you don't want to, you don't fight. You value your life over your country. I completely understand that. But the fact you say use your democracy in the future,
Hmm.
I think that's just stupid. Like there
Oh,
will
for
be
sure.
no democracy in the
Well,
future
that's
when they
exactly what Zelensky. Wait, so is that how you pronounce his name?
yeah, Zelensky.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do initially, right? He was
Hmm.
trying to say, like, we can cooperate with Russia, we can have discourse
Peace.
and diplomacy and
Yeah.
democracy, and obviously not.
Yeah. I think I completely understand people not wanting to fight because
Oh,
nobody
yeah, of
wants to
course.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think encouraging people to use democracy in the future and just flee by now, then what's stopping Russia from just taking over everywhere,
Well,
right?
yeah, her
Like,
point relies on the idea that you can trust Russia. It would
yeah.
be like saying to, Jewish people in World War II,
Hmm.
don't fight, just rely on democracy.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
don't know
then,
if you're going to get exterminated or not. Like, what's stopping Putin or anybody else from like doing a cleanse.
Yeah, and not to mention that's their home. Like they don't. Not everybody has a place outside. Like
Yeah.
Ukraine's their home. Like
Well, yeah, of course. Like, what
so,
does this say for the other countries?
yeah,
Like if Ukraine if you have this opinion, so Russia can just take Ukraine and US could just take Mexico and,
yeah.
yeah,
Nobody
just
can
take
fight
it.
the
Just walk in there
U.S.
and take it. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody can fight the U.S.
Yeah.
Just let
The
them take
US
it. Use
may
the
as well just take
democracy in
all
the
of South
future.
America. US troops should just walk down south and take over the entire continent
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you
And
should just use democracy. No need to fight.
and I think that's just a crazy take from outsider.
Well,
Like,
yeah, outside, inside, it doesn't matter. Even if somebody inside had that
mhm,
opinion, it's just like it doesn't make any
yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah. I just think like you have democracy, and you think they will. Like that's just a dream scenario that it will never
Hey, what do you
happen.
mean, man? Putin got 115% of the votes last election. That sounds like
Did you see
democracy
the
to me.
video? It was a video of like the voting official putting up a balloon right above, right in front of the CCTV
Mm.
cameras, just to block when they're counting the vote in
Oh,
Russia. Yeah,
they didn't even try to hide it.
yeah.
The
Well,
the
they tried
videos
to hide it with the balloons.
I saw a video of somebody like clearly filling out multiple ballots over and over again
Yeah,
in the Russian
I just
elections.
think. I mean, who's gonna dispute the result? Nobody.
Yeah,
So
I mean, there's nothing to
and
dispute, man.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then they're getting. And I do agree one point, right? Nobody can win. No, like Ukraine can't win against Russia. I think they will not win in
Well,
terms of
I think it depends on like what do you consider a win?
a win
Okay,
is
let's say for Russia. What's a win for Russia? At
taking
this
over
point, a win
Ukraine.
for Russia is actually like basically impossible because a win for Russia involves no sanctions.
But
And
there will definitely be
is it
sanctions.
possible for Russia to achieve no sanctions?
No, no way. It's
So
already
Russia's hard
going there.
stuck. So what's a
Yeah,
win
but I
for
mean,
Ukraine?
I think no, no, no. I think a win for Russia would be taking over Ukraine.
Yeah, but
I
if they
think they'll
have
suffer
sanctions,
greatly.
if they get
But
sanctions, it's still a loss.
mm, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think in terms of their goal is to take over Ukraine, I think it will happen. I think
Yeah, but do you
the
consider
first
that a victory? Is that a good, is that,
no.
like, if you could go back 2 weeks and say, okay, Russia, you can get Ukraine for free, but you get these sanctions, is it worth?
Oh, I don't think it's worth it. I
Yeah, of
think they
course
fucked
not.
their economy for the
No,
next 10 years.
fucking, it's ruined forever.
Yeah, I think at least 10 years.
Unless they get
I'm
rid of the government. I don't think people are gonna ease up on these sanctions unless they get rid of the government.
I think even if they change president, even say Putin get assassinated tomorrow,
Well,
I still
let's
think
say
the
Alexei,
sanction
what's his name, Alexei?
not something
Yeah,
and N word.
yeah, yeah. If he became president, I think
Mhm.
there's a chance, like somebody like the people's hero type of person.
They will try to support him to
Yeah,
build
because
up the
The
country.
West will be like, hey, yeah, we'll get rid of sanctions.
Yeah, I suppose. But I think the damage has already been done. Like
Yeah,
the
temporarily. I don't think when you think about economic damage like that, like a
Mhm.
recession can end in a month. Like you get supply lines back up and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
restore the value of the currency and it's fine. Or even in
This
extreme
is
cases like
possible.
Zimbabwe and like you said, the old Taiwanese dollar, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
you re you reissue the currency, you reset it, and then I mean it's
But I
fucked
think
up.
that takes time. I don't think
Yeah,
that takes like a
but it's not
year
going
or
to take
so.
like 10 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think maybe 3 to 5 years, maybe.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people in Russia will suffer.
potentially. Though it's not like
I
the
think.
ruble is useless. Like let's say tomorrow it
Mhm.
said like, oh, Putin's executed. We're putting Alexei as would sanctions not be over and like the ruble would be stable within a couple of weeks? I think it would be fine. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen.
I think the sanctions will not end instantly.
I think in that case they would.
I
I think it
doubt
would
it.
end. I would think it would end extremely quickly if that happened and they pulled out their army. I think sanctions
Yeah,
would end in like 3 days
maybe.
because they
I
wouldn't
don't
want
know.
to. They're like, what is the point of keeping sanctions anymore? Right now, the way
I think
the story is
until a new
painted by the
government is
West,
formed.
Like, let's say, like, even considering the Western propaganda against Putin. Now, whether you
Yeah.
consider it propaganda or not, obviously, but like, the whole story is, oh, we love Russians. This isn't Russians' war. This is Putin's war.
Yeah.
So if they announce Putin is dead, then to go along with their story, they would have to get rid of sanctions. If they pulled out the army as well, I mean.
Yeah, I guess, but I
Because
think
otherwise they're blaming they're
until a
hurting
new
Russian
government
people.
is formed, because who knows who's gonna replace him? Maybe it's another dictator that's
Mm,
like a supporter of him, which is
maybe,
entirely possible because
maybe.
Belarus is supporting. Just as a few hours
Yeah.
ago, I'm pretty sure Belarus
Well,
has
they
entered
sent
the war
yeah, they sent
as well.
troops in just recently.
Yeah, so I think like who knows? Maybe it could be another dictator that's like
Yeah. Now, why do
okay
you
with
think
the war.
Belarus is agreeing with Russia here? Don't you think there's a good opportunity for Belarus to be like aligned with the West?
I think Russia has pretty deep control over it.
Mm,
Like the person Lushenko, I think is
yeah.
his name,
Yeah, yeah.
is basically a like a puppet
Mm,
like put there by Putin.
yeah.
So I think he will at least listen to him
Because
for
they
the
haven't we haven't
foreseeable
sanctioned
future.
Belarus yet, right?
People are talking about it, but they
Mm,
haven't.
I think they're probably
Like,
going to.
they will. I'm pretty sure they will. Like
Yeah.
Japan is talking about it. Like they put on some sanctions on the like officials
Yeah.
from Belarus. So I think they are thinking about it. Not a lot of action yet
Mm,
against Belarus, but there's a lot of action against Russia so far.
yeah.
They kicked them out of the SWIFT system, the the one that they use to transfer money,
Yeah.
and they blocked the central bank.
Yeah, apparently Russia has like some internal replacement for the Swift system or something, but I
I
mean,
doubt
I don't
it's
think
that
it'll
great.
help. Yeah, it's like it's not going to help them really.
I think average citizen is still gonna get fucked.
Yeah, and then there was some story about I don't know if it was Hungary or Croatia, like some country over there said like, "Oh, we're still going to trade with Russia." But like it's some small countries, so I don't think that really
Mhm.
helps them either.
Yeah,
There's some
I
concerns
think
that they could like use it as a proxy to still buy Western products through that country, but
no, no, no. Well,
I
the
don't know.
sanctions are pretty
Yeah, yeah. I
big on
mean, if
that.
that
Like,
started
they don't
happening,
let
they would
you.
just sanction the other country anyway.
Yes, it's what happened in China, right? So like any product that uses the U.S. product,
Yeah.
you cannot sell to Huawei in China. So
Mm,
like they cannot like buy stuff by proxy
yeah.
because if you sell them to China, you also get sanctioned by US.
Yeah.
So nobody is dumb enough to do that. So they basically cut them off at all points.
So what do
I
you
think that's
think?
how the sanction works.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think the win condition for Ukraine is now?
Uh, Someone intervene. Some country actually intervene in terms of military, not
Mm.
not just like
So
sanction
you think it's
supports.
doomed? You don't think there's any way for them to continue what they've been doing so far?
I don't think so
Well, what
because
about an Afghanistan situation where it's just rebels forever?
it's possible,
Mm.
but that's not a win. That's not a win for Ukraine.
Well, was it ignoring the Taliban versus Afghan army, right? If we
Mhm.
just consider Afghanistan as one unit, didn't
Yes.
they win? Didn't they technically win after 20 years?
Well, you mean like after US left?
Yeah, like isn't it a win for Afghanistan now?
I think it's a win for Taliban, not
Yeah,
for
well, that's what I
Afghanistan.
said. Ignore the different
But I think
groups.
that's the point, right? It's like Russian taking over Ukraine, and then is that a win for Ukrainian?
If they leave in
Probably
20
not.
years,
Not leave, but
eventually it's
just
a win, right?
I guess. But you already fucked. I don't think that's a win. I think the win would be going back close to where you were before the
Mm,
war,
mm,
and then or at least the enemy surrender or just pull back.
yeah. So you don't think
Even
there's any chance of that happening?
I would even consider a win if they just lose Crimea in maybe one or two small region and saving the capital.
Well, they already had lost those regions, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying if
You think it's okay for them to
there's
lose a
no
few more?
no. I'm just saying if those ones are lost, like
Oh, I see.
after say Russia decide to stop right now
Yeah.
and then just taking over those, I would say that's still somewhat a win. It's fucked up, but I think it's somewhat a win.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like,
like from a like pure perspective, yeah, it's a loss for everybody. Obviously,
yes,
nobody's winning. But from this point, there's some pretty decent outcomes for Ukraine. But do you think it's
I don't think
possible, or do
so.
you think
I don't
Russia?
think there's decent outcome for Ukraine
So you think Russia will
unless
definitely take Kiev?
I think so. I
How
think
long do you think it'll take?
probably less than a week.
Mm.
So it'll be two more podcasts
Yeah, yeah.
time. I think Russia, all the media we've been seeing are partly propaganda by Ukrainian
Yeah,
side,
yeah, yeah.
which looks like they're winning by a lot. I'm not saying they're
Well, it's
not
hard to say
winning.
propaganda because it's just what
Yeah.
people have been seeing, you know?
And also there's a lot of, I guess, footage that's like misrepresenting the situation.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I think Russia hasn't used majority of the forces at all.
Well,
Like
yeah, I've
not
heard
nearly.
that they use 30%, but then I also heard they use 60%. You know, it's impossible to.
Yeah. I'm just assuming, like in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm not an expert on this. I'm not an expert on like geopolitics or
yeah. Well, I am an expert.
military.
I've been watching the
Okay.
news for 3 days now, so I'm fully
Yeah.
informed.
I just read Twitter headlines
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
videos.
Well,
So
apparently they have like a 40-mile long convoy,
yeah,
and it's been growing
marching
and
down.
growing. Now, there's a misconception. When they say 40-mile long convoy, a lot of people imagine it's 40 miles, like back to back to back, but
Mhm.
apparently there can be like miles of space and it's still considered a convoy.
Yeah,
So it's
but I
not as
mean,
bad
it's
as
still
people
a
think,
huge
but
amount of
yeah,
military
it's a huge
personnel.
amount. But at the same time, there's different talks of more European like fighter jets being delivered to Poland, I think, that are
Yeah,
going
but
to be
are
able to
they
be
gonna use
used.
it?
Yeah, I think their Ukrainian pilots are taking certain jets from Poland and using those, as far as I'm aware.
Okay,
And there's different military support being
yeah, those
given in
jets are
terms of like
expensive.
weapons and munitions.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I think there was also
Mhm.
some other talk about not sending military, but not saying they can't go. You know, so
I still think
like if 1,000 soldiers
Russian
wanted to go,
military.
they could.
Yeah. I still think Russian military is too strong for Ukraine,
Yeah.
like Ukrainian force. I think unless an actual country like
Well, there's
UK or
The
France,
Turkish drones. You
they
know.
helped them, but they didn't declare war. What I mean is, unless one of these countries, like Turkey or
Yeah.
Germany, declare war against Russia, I mean, obviously they won't. I
Yeah.
think it's an
Probably
impossible scenario.
not.
I think it's an impossible scenario.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
they will
one
not.
of the smaller countries potentially. Like, what if Poland said like, okay, we're
They'll probably get
officially
fucked.
joining the war?
They will get fucked,
But like, is
most
Russia
likely.
really going to try to also invade Poland? I don't think so, right?
They'll probably use Belarus,
Wait, is Poland part of the EU though? So I guess they can't do that, right?
I guess.
I don't know how that
Uh,
works. Like, are they allowed to go to war themselves?
I
No,
think so.
because then if Russia attacks Poland, then it like triggers the rest of the European Union.
Yeah,
And that's a whole other conversation. Like he's
but I don't
saying
think
he's
they care
appealing to the
enough.
EU right
Mhm.
now, right? Like he
Yeah.
wants to join the EU right now.
Yeah.
So
He signed the application already
so
as of yesterday.
if they accept him,
Mhm.
then what
Are the
happens?
country obligated to help?
Yeah, like what even
I
happens?
don't think so. I don't think they will. I think they will support them, like they will support Ukraine in terms of like financially and
Mm-hmm.
like I guess providing weapons,
Yeah,
arms.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't think they would declare war officially because that might trigger a nuclear war.
There's two reasons why I think it's not all hope lost for Ukraine. One, I think their morale is like 100 times higher than the Russian morale.
Hmm.
And two, there is a lot of different aid being given to them by a lot of different countries.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't
And
think that's
even though
enough.
Russian has a lot of numbers, funneling them all in is not easy. It's like
I think
300, you know?
the weapon that they haven't used, like they have like thermobaric, they have like
Yeah.
a lot of
And
like
I think that
just
will
carpet
heavily
bombing.
fuck especially civilians. I think there's going
Hmm.
to be a lot of civilian deaths in the coming week.
Yeah, and I think that's just a lose for a situation for Ukraine.
Well, it's
Like
also a loss for Russia. The more they
for
do
sure,
that,
I
the
think
worse
Russia
this is going to be for them.
will come out lose for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't think Ukraine is coming. I think
Well, the question
Ukraine
is,
has a
are
chance
those
coming out.
munitions, are those bombs actually going to be useful in a significant way against the army? Or is it mostly just to destroy like buildings and to like ruin the cities?
I think they will also kill civilians.
Well, that's what I mean, right? Like, is it actually going to help their war effort a ton? Because it's like, oh, earlier today, a bunch of Ukrainian soldiers got killed in the bombing of that building, right? 70 of
I
them
think it
died?
will turn into Middle East, like
Yeah,
Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq. I think it'll
yeah,
turn into that sort of thing, like just warfare everywhere. There's no like civilian areas, like they just bomb whatever. And
yeah.
I think that's a big loss to Ukraine.
I think it's kind of unlikely that the west of Ukraine actually gets to that situation since it's so far away. Like, but maybe? Like, does the Ukraine, are there any Ukrainian military units even in Lviv?
I don't know.
I don't think
I'm,
so, right?
I'm not an expert. You're the expert. I'm not the expert.
Oh, yeah, I'm the expert.
I only know they're trying pretty hard towards Kiev and like
Yeah.
the second biggest city, Kharkiv.
Yeah, because they're all like
I
in the
think it's
central
one.
to the eastern part of Ukraine. So
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I wonder
I
if
think
they
that's
have
where the
anything in the
oils.
west.
I think that's where the oils are, right? The
Yeah,
natural resources.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you hear a lot about those thermobolic or thermobutic, whatever it is, bombs.
Hmm.
But again, like how much do they cost? How many do they have? What are they able to accomplish? Because you got to consider the actual cost of war as well.
For sure. But
And with the declining ruble and stuff like this, like
yeah, we should talk about that. The currency value
yeah, like
dropped to
there's
shit.
going to be logistical issues where they only have
Hmm.
so many missiles.
Yeah, and Ukraine is offering the Russian soldiers to surrender. They're offering them money. I think 5 million
Hmm.
rubles.
Oh,
I'm
so
not
like
sure.
700 USD, yeah.
Yeah. But at some point it's gonna be worth, right? We'll give you a slice of bread. Maybe that's worth it. I think at some point the military might turn against their country.
Hmm.
It's just like they're. I think that's what the sanction is trying to do, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
destroy your economy, make your people against you.
Well,
Like
instead of like obviously you can turn your rubles into cryptocurrency and
mhm.
USD and the euro, but you can also turn your rubles into Robux now. Apparently
You turn into what?
Roblox money is worth more than the
Oh,
ruble.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, what about Steam money?
Oh, that's worth way more than the ruble,
Yeah, you
man.
can buy keys with it.
Yeah. So if you
Maybe.
bought like, a
Yeah.
million Robux,
Yeah.
you could probably sell the account for the money later on.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So it might be a
I
good
get.
way
Yeah.
to put
Yeah.
it might be a good place to put your rubles.
What if they ban your account and they realize, oh, this is a Russian IP?
Mm, because
Oh,
that's like
ban
you're
it.
breaking the
The
sanctions.
sanctions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to.
You're sanctioned from buying Robux.
That's kind of fucked. Yeah.
Dude, imagine you're like some random Russian kid right now, like, because they're getting banned from all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Or you're like an athlete. You dedicate your whole life to being an athlete, and now suddenly you're banned because I'm pretty sure FIFA
Yep. The
banned, and
IOC.
then UEFA, whatever it is. I think
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
banned, and the Olympics and like football, like everything, they're just fucking banned.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
you
Like,
do nothing.
I mean, yeah,
I guess
like,
you can
I mean,
claim like political refugee to on the other country, right? Like kind of like some chess players.
yes, there was a famous, I think, Iranian chess player
Mhm.
that decided to just abandon Iran entirely.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then just yeah, I think other country are willing to take talents,
yeah,
right? And I think that's a big part too. Like Russia has always been pretty concerned about like
yeah.
these type of competitions, like chess historically, like
Oh yes,
against
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
U.S. and like even just competitive sports.
Well, there
And
was
then
that
they're
whole
also
thing during
big.
the Olympics where the entire Russian team was like using drugs,
Yeah,
and then they weren't allowed to even say that they're Russian anymore.
yeah. They're called ROC, which is
Yeah,
a code for what is it called? I don't even know what it stands for.
yeah.
ROC.
I don't know, but
I know it's
yeah, there was like huge scandals about all that. So,
yeah.
are the athletes even able to leave? Like, I guess they're not even able to leave the country to defect, though.
I
Maybe you
guess
could go north
I'm
to
sure
Finland.
Putin will try to stop them.
Yeah, potentially you could go to Finland and try to go
Maybe.
through there. But at the same
Yeah.
time, people are going to be very wary of like Russian spies, and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so they might not even
Yeah,
believe you. Like you'd have to have some proof, I guess.
yeah. It's kind of crazy how it evolves into this, and then it's like this day and age, there's actual war happening.
Well, yeah, this is the first. I see a lot of Twitter posts like,
Civilized. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
war in
see what you
Syria
mean.
fake, war in Palestine fake. You know,
Uh-huh.
this is the first real war.
Yes, I see a lot of like reputable headlines that just said civilized world. It's
Oh,
like, what are you
what is the
kidding? Like this
implication?
Middle East not
Mm,
real?
mm, mm. So why do you
Like,
think? Why do you think? The media likes this war so much more than the other ones. Let's
because
ignore the people
it's
for a moment.
uh but it's
Like
about the people. It's about the skin color and eye color, right? Like it's
maybe,
European. They're
maybe.
European.
I think it might be because like Russia's a very notorious country. It's like big country on small country, like similar with China and Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Gets a lot of news attention. But I'm kind of
I don't
surprised
think
after
people are fed
seeing
up about Russia as much as China. Like I would understand like people hate China because all
yeah,
the animosity from the people. But
yeah.
I think Russia, at least towards for Europeans, from what I've seen on the news, I don't think they hate them that much yet.
Mm,
Like not as much as the US hates China.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I think it's about the people. Like this war is on people of their kind. Same color, same type, right? Blue eyes, white skin. They're not Middle Eastern. So I think these people don't care. I think it's just plain old
Hey, but I
racism.
am Middle Eastern and I also don't care. So what's going on
Not my
there?
people, not my problem,
Am I
right?
am I a race traitor?
No, no, no. You're basically Canadian. You're
Oh,
washed
okay.
white enough.
Honorary white.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are Canadians even
I,
considered white anymore? Isn't white a minority here?
Ooh, that's a hot statement. I don't know.
I think it might be. The truckers were racially oppressed. That's what I heard.
Well, the national emergency is over, so
Yeah.
there's no
Well,
more
just earlier,
emergency.
we heard Trudeau call a Jew a Nazi.
Yep.
And in Russia, we get Putin calling a Jew a Nazi. It's kind of the
Yeah.
new trend.
Is Canada the new Russia? Are we gonna
Mmm.
invade USA?
Mm.
We should take over Alaska.
Yeah.
We should take
Yeah.
back
Annex.
Alaska.
Annex Alaska. Just
Oh
like
my
it's
god,
Crimea.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It used to be
Oh,
ours.
you know what?
Is it?
Since I'm such a military genius,
Yep.
now is the time for the US to invade Russia from the east. Because Russia's
Like
focused on the west,
that's gonna trigger a nuclear war. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Just nuke them first. How about that?
I
You think
guess we
it'll work?
can. I feel like China is gonna join, and then I'm gonna get fucked. I
What if
don't
you
know
call
if that's a
China
good.
first? What if Biden called China and said,
We
distract
split
Putin, I'm
Russia,
gonna nuke his ass?
but Russia is right next door, right? So I mean, China is right next door to the side of Russia you're taking, right? The eastern part of
Oh,
Russia.
yeah, yeah.
So China is not gonna like U.S. bordering their border,
That's true.
even with a small buffer state of Mongolia. And North Korea is not gonna be happy either,
So if
right?
China started invading Russia,
Yeah,
would Russia just nuke everything?
probably.
Like,
I think he's unhinged.
do you think
I
if one
think
of
he
these
is.
top countries started getting invaded, that they
Mhm.
would sacrifice all their people on the whole planet just to say fuck you? Or
I
would the
think
people
these.
like okay, so let's say instead of China and Russia, let's say the US.
Yeah.
Because let's assume that the United States procedures for
Mhm.
launching nukes are very well like maintained and very well guarded and very democratic, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So if the US is getting invaded
Sure.
and it's just like, yeah, we're just going to kill, your political leaders
I
and
don't
then
think they will launch. I don't think the U.S. will be the first one to launch nukes. I
yeah.
think most of the Western country will not be the first to
Yeah.
launch nukes, but they will launch nukes once someone else did. So,
Well, of
say
course.
China nukes you, they will respond in nukes, but
Yeah.
they will not be the first one to launch nukes.
Isn't
I
that
think
kind
that's.
of
I think
weird? Like, let's say China's nuking the whole Earth, so it's like, okay,
yeah.
we're all dead, and then it's like, well, why are you even launching your nukes?
You see, I think Western people
Just to spite them?
value their lives a lot more.
Yeah, but you're already
Like
dead.
human cost is a lot higher in Western countries, just because I think they're more developed, right?
Mm.
Like you see China losing 1 billion people is probably like okay, right? Like the famous saying by Mao or whatever, right? He's like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's just number or whatever, right? Like the amount of people they lost. Like, it's okay, I'm okay with it.
yeah,
They are okay with it, and then like so it's like it's just a human is just a part of their strategy, I guess. So it's not as valuable as people view it in Western country,
yeah.
where human lives are above all. So
I just
I
mean
think
that,
Western
like, when
country,
China launches all their nukes, the
huh,
whole world is going to turn to uninhabitable dog shit, right?
probably,
So then why are you even launching your nukes in response? Like, it's like you're like a child throwing a tantrum.
but China probably won't launch nukes anywhere near China, right?
Yeah, but
Like
the
to affect them.
fallout, I'm pretty sure that from the calculations that the fallout would like ruin the entire planet, right? Like nuclear winter, that's what they call it, right?
I guess I'm not sure if they will do it that bad. I think they
Yeah.
will nuke hard enough to not to affect their country.
Mm.
But I think the retaliation will just fuck it up anyway. So
I mean, maybe it's possible
not
some
really
people
a point.
survive. I mean, we don't have like a
Like,
ton of experience with radiation, right?
look at how Japan turned out.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Great
even
country.
Chernobyl was not that bad.
Yeah,
Like in the show, it was portrayed as a lot worse than it actually was.
I think the technology is definitely advanced enough where you can control the affected area
Yeah,
like
potentially.
pretty precise
Well, we could definitely come up with more tech to try to, I guess, manufacture the air and like the atmosphere.
for sure. For sure.
I don't know how hard it is to get nuclear waste in the atmosphere to settle. Like if there's a
No
bunch of
idea.
uranium fucking dust,
Raining
like
down.
can we fucking blow that shit? Can we get a fan? As long as you don't sleep in the same room as the fan, I guess you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
We'll have to ask Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's our savior.
So with the Russian advance,
Mhm.
after they take Ukraine or after they take Kiev, so let's say they
Yeah.
succeed. They take Kiev, they kill the leaders.
Zelensky.
Yeah. And then it's like, do they just leave all those troops in Ukraine?
I think my prediction will be he will try to install a leader there,
Yeah, yeah. So they put in
kind
a
of like
leader and stuff, but then do they just leave
Belarus.
all the troops there?
Probably not.
But then won't it just be retaken by the rebels?
I
Like they
think his
have to
goal
leave the
is make
troops there,
it
don't they?
Afghanistan 2.0, just
Yeah.
constant fighting.
But the difference with Afghanistan is that they also had Afghanistani people on their side.
Uh-huh.
Like some of them, right? And they had the army on their side. But if they take Ukraine, like how do you even hold that fucking shit?
I guess
Like
you
I
still
don't
need
understand the
some military
logistics. I don't
forces.
understand the logistics of how they would possibly maintain that.
I have no idea either,
Like
but I think they
you'd have to
will.
keep like what, like 100,000 troops there forever?
Maybe.
Or you give up like the entire west and like you only keep Kiev and Kharkiv and the Donbass region and Crimea, and you give up like the west
I
and
think that's a very possible thing to do. Like they just keep
keep the
the
major
major
cities.
cities.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
you could force everybody to leave. And then you don't
Yeah.
need that
Or
many troops to
kill.
like hold the city. But then what's
You
the
can just
point of
kill
even
them
holding
too.
the city? It's like a ghost
The
town.
resources. I would
Yeah,
assume.
so like do you have any idea how much natural resources and like value
No
Ukraine
idea.
has?
No idea.
Mm.
But I would assume it's somewhat worth it, right?
Well, yeah, it's like with the Middle East, it was like very obvious to everybody. Like this is an oil war. We're here for
Yep.
oil. Oil is money. We want to take it.
Yeah.
But what about
In
Ukraine? Like,
names of freedom, of course,
yeah, yeah, we want to
and
free the
democracy,
oil being trapped
and use the democracy in the future.
by the
Yes.
oppressive Middle Easterners. They're trapping this oil in the ground, and
Yep.
we need
Yep.
to release it.
Yep.
So I haven't heard anything about
Mhm.
Ukraine
Same.
economically. Like I've heard
I have no
nothing
idea
about their
either.
resources or
I
what
heard
they
there's
produce.
some in the coast of Kiev, right? And then there's like also more in Crimea, which is the
Hmm.
reason why they took it. And back in
Well, yeah, the
2014.
whole Black Sea area is important. Obviously, it's nice to have
Mhm.
Crimea, but they already have it,
Yep.
so that's not really a benefit since they already control it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is to widen your border
Yeah.
so that you have like a buffer from Moscow to EU.
Yeah. Poland and yeah.
So I guess that's somewhat useful. Kind of.
I
I mean,
guess
like,
I don't think it's worth it.
yeah, like in
Like the
modern war,
consequences way
yeah, in
more.
modern war, does that even matter?
Probably not.
Like, you have an extra, couple thousand miles or however long it is.
I think he's just crazy. And
Yeah,
even
like
that's why
it
China is not
seems
joining.
like maybe I'm like ignorant. Like, obviously, what
Okay.
he's doing is wrong, and I'm not supporting it and all that. But like, I'm trying to
Yeah,
look
yeah,
for
yeah.
some
I
reasonable.
don't see the angle either. I don't see
Yeah,
any angle where he comes out on top. I think
yeah,
he didn't expect people to be this against it, and he didn't expect Ukraine to stay for this
yeah.
long.
So in his
So
mind, let's say he goes in. There's not a lot of fighting. He takes it over in a couple days. He kills the guy,
Mhm.
and then like just nobody cares. I guess is what he was imagining.
He-
Like it's like a Hong
I
Kong
think
situation, right? He's just
I think it's
imagining it's
too
just like Hong
late for
Kong, right?
him to change mind. I think it's just too late for him to change his mind.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean,
His
initially,
expectation is nobody's gonna intervene. I
yeah,
will quickly take over Kiev, and
yeah,
then they will surrender, and then I'll get what I want. I'll just get all those regions. He didn't expect all the resistance and all the sanctions, but it's already too late. He's already committed, so he cannot pull out.
gambler's fallacy
If he pull out, he will get
or sunk cost
way
fallacy, right?
worse.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think that's the only angle I see why he's still doing it, because there's no benefit to do what he's doing.
yeah. It seems really strange to me. So, do you think he was expecting like a Hong Kong situation where he just takes it and it's his, and then easy peasy?
Yeah, I think he
Hmm.
is expecting it Crimea 2.0. I take it, you bitch about it, but that's it. You
Maybe
don't
he
have
expected the Ukrainian president to take to kind
his
of
side.
surrender, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that he expected people to surrender after you take Kiev, like in
Hmm.
a simple rush, because he was rushing it. He
Well, yeah,
put like
the
the only
first,
reason
yeah,
Russian lost a lot of numbers because they're they're very
Hey,
disorganized, and then
Suka
they push
Suka
in
Rush
Kiev.
B,
Yeah,
but it didn't
yeah, yeah,
work.
yeah. I
They got
think the
smoked.
biggest
B
thing that you
Hall
can
got
see.
smoked, and then they ran through the smoke anyway. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No
that's not a
flash,
good.
just
Yeah,
rush,
no flash.
pistols.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing you can tell that it's not a great idea is when China is not really supporting
yeah.
this
China didn't
invasion.
support them, which maybe they expected China to support them. Turkey didn't support them. Maybe they expected Turkey to support them.
Yeah, yeah. But
Hungary,
the
like,
Turkey's
sort
in
of.
NATO. I don't think they will support him.
Uh, yeah, not support, like not militarily, but I don't think they expected Turkey to defend
Support
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. With the drones, that's pretty sick. Those videos are
yeah.
pretty
There's been
sick.
like 3 or 4, or maybe even more than
Yeah,
that by now.
yeah, yeah. But now what I'm afraid of is China will look at this and then say, "Fuck it," right? It's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
my as well.
Everybody's busy. Compared to
Take
Ukraine, nobody cares about Taiwan, dude. It's a tiny island,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was Chinese anyway.
And the another thing I hate that I see on the internet a lot
Mm.
is the report of the Chinese aircraft and Taiwanese airspace.
Oh yeah, all the time. But that's normal,
Yeah,
right?
it's not that it's very common.
Yeah,
And when I see it on the like, Reddit threads,
yeah, yeah.
they will always be fucking regarded, highly regarded
Mm.
people that will be like, oh, you know what Taiwanese airspace is like? It includes Chinese mainland. That's why you
Oh.
always see like it's called the ADIZ zone.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look it up in the Taiwanese ADIZ zone, it's called
Yeah.
well the Z zone, so ADIZ, yes, includes mainland China. But the report that comes in the Chinese aircraft are always crossing the line of the between the strait. Like here, I will show you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just mean the the aircraft will cross the line in between.
Mm.
That's where they cross.
Mm-hmm.
The that's where the report comes from. They're not talking about where the plane are flying,
Oh, I see.
like in the mainland air, right? You see those blue lines and red lines. Those
Yeah.
are crossing the line. Nobody gonna care if they fly the plane before the line, even though it's in the airspace.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just people are always like, "Oh my god, you know how their zone covers mainland China and the aircraft they have all the rights to fly there." But what they're talking about is like bullshit because what the reports are, they're flying over the line, over into the airspace.
Oh, so they're flying closer to the island.
Yeah, yeah,
I
they're
see.
closer to the island, and it's not just in the
So those reports technically could be happening all the time if they fly over China, but those
no, no,
reports
no.
are
They fly
referring.
over China all the time,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
those don't get reported.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, technically, they could report that, which is what people are saying, but it's not true.
Yeah,
They are flying close to
yeah.
Taiwan.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
The reports are always the
Mm-mm.
respawn time testing, which is yeah. So I don't think China will invade, but it's possible. I think the Chinese
Well, it's like with Hong Kong, it was really easy. It's right there. There's no war. There's no real, like,
and they
anything.
own Hong Kong anyway.
Yeah, and
They're like
technically it's theirs
yeah,
and whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, with Taiwan, it's a little bit more complicated, and you guys do have some ability to resist, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it's also annoying to cross, water to, like, have to take a beach
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that
To
sort of
take an
shit.
island,
Yeah.
yeah, unless they nuke it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, if they
there's
bomb the
also
shit out of you guys, like,
the water between Taiwan and China is international water.
mm,
So American like warship or I don't know what you call it.
mm,
Those
mm.
ships and Canadian ones
Yeah,
will
yeah.
cross
The,
all
like,
the time.
destroyers or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they will cross there just to show as a demonstration like this is international water.
Mm.
So and they're always close, right? Guam is pretty close. and they have the U.S. have a military base in Japan,
So do you have
like
any insights
Okinawa.
into Taiwan's relation to the world? Like, how friendly is Taiwan with NATO, EU?
The thing is, Taiwan is not recognized as a country in
Yeah. So do
any
you, so, okay,
international.
let's say China declares war on Taiwan. Do you think anybody's going to help?
We can only expect Japan and U.S.
But you do
That's
think they
the
would help?
I think it's a high
Hmm.
possibility due to the like chips, right?
Yeah.
The computer chips
Yeah, yeah.
and
As long as you're right,
security.
as long as you're right about it being a high possibility, then there's no way
Yeah,
China will invade
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I think it's
it
a
would
better
cause
way to just
it would cause such a fucking problem like China versus US.
for sure, for sure. I think that's what they're looking at. They're studying right now, right? The consequence of
Well, I think
invading
China,
another.
I think so then I think this will have the opposite effect on China. China's probably like, "Oh shit. Like we better
Yeah,
not
yeah.
invade a country that the media likes."
I think they will do a lot of prep before they do, at least,
Yeah, like talk a lot of
right? They
shit
will have
when
to,
if I read a bunch of negative news about Taiwan, then I know the invasion is coming.
yeah, yeah, and they will have to prep
If
like their
Taiwan ever
own.
kills a couple hundred protesters, then I know the invasion is coming.
Yeah, they will have to prep their own system, right? Their currency system, their
Yeah.
exchange system. They will have to be prepared from getting cut off from rest of the world. I think they will do a lot of prep
Well, yeah,
before
right.
they
Like
invade, at
countries
least.
becoming self-sufficient. Like if China becomes self-sufficient, but they're still losing out on a lot by getting sanctioned,
For
even
sure,
if
for
they're
sure.
fine without it. And again, is Taiwan really was Ukraine worth the fallback? No. Is Taiwan worth the fallback? Probably not.
Maybe if they get TSMC, maybe it's worth,
Maybe. But at the same
right?
time, the
They
value of
control.
TSMC is going to drop a lot over the next 5 years because people are really learning, like, oh, it's not good to rely on overseas production for everything because,
But the technology is not easily replicated, right?
oh, for sure.
Sure, it's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
definitely not. But
I think at least it provides like at least 5 years of security.
yes.
I'm not saying it's a great way to do it, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is
No,
a way to
I
do it.
agree. I think it's going to take some time for there to be reasonable replacements. But I think
Mhm,
with COVID, with global supply chain issues, with different
mhm, mhm.
instabilities in different regions, I think countries are realizing, okay, like
Yeah,
globalization is great, but we need to have a backup. If we need masks, we need to be able to make our own masks. If we
yeah,
need
yeah, yeah.
toilet paper, if we need food, we need to be able to do it ourselves so that we don't fall into a situation like Venezuela
I
or
think
something
that's a
along those lines.
that's a solution for most things that's easily doable, like mask. But I think technology, like at least advanced ones, that requires years of
Yeah,
just
I don't think there's many countries that can pull it off, but I think countries like US
they're definitely
definitely
trying for sure.
can.
They have
Definitely, well, yeah.
billions approved to
Yeah.
do like the foundries
Yeah.
and a lot of stuff. Like even Japan is doing it. Like
Yeah, Japan.
Germany,
I mean, even
all
South
the
Korea has, like Samsung and shit, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's part of the reason. It's what South Korea. I'm assuming what South Korea is doing is similar to Taiwan, right? Like, if
Yeah.
you're important enough in your technology,
Yeah.
like your companies, then if North Korea invades you, then other country are pretty much obligated
Well,
to
yeah, they
help
want
you.
to, yeah, because there's benefit. I mean, again, it's like you're creating,
Yeah,
Taiwan doesn't have oil, so
yeah,
you made your own oil out of semiconductors.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Imagine without oil, man,
Yeah.
Americans already
Well,
here,
yeah, if you
right?
had oil, your country would be the 53rd state or whatever.
For sure, for
So,
sure. I mean, Canada is basically the new states,
yeah.
right? It's like
Well, apparently
we have so much oil,
we sell like Alberta oil for a horrible price to the US.
for sure. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting
We don't even
scammed.
refine it ourselves. We let them refine
Yeah,
it,
we
and
send
we
the
buy
crude
it
oil
back.
straight to them and then we buy it from them back. So
Yeah, yeah.
stupid. Who set that shit up? I
Because
don't
it's
know. I
more.
know more about Ukrainian
Yeah.
history than I know about any other country now.
It's just because we didn't invest in infrastructure that's
Yeah.
like so it's cheaper to refine it in the
Yeah.
US.
And that's
and to
also
buy it back.
that's also a
And it's we
social.
always
Yeah, go ahead.
we always see short term profits, right? So
Yeah,
if it's more profitable to send it over to the US to refine it and we buy it back,
yeah,
it makes more sense to do it in the short term. But in the long term, we should definitely build our own refinery and like train our staff, right? And then do it ourselves to like lower the reliability of like foreign countries.
yeah. And I think
But I
that's
guess
like, I think
Canadians are too comfortable.
that's a social issue that's growing right now when people are thinking about stability and jobs, and like
Mhm.
this sort of thing is driving people to really appreciate those sorts of factories and
Yeah, yeah.
production
For sure.
facilities within their own country.
Like China produce like
Yeah,
half
people
like
don't
the
want
world's
China to
shit.
produce anything anymore, right? Like the
Yeah.
idea of buying something made in China has always been like a meme. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
made in China, it's a piece of shit. But now people are like, fuck that, you know? We
Yeah.
really don't want it if it's made in China. Like,
But it's
people are getting
still
really
cheaper,
pissed.
right? It's still cheap.
Yeah.
So
And then there's also
money is
economic
always winning.
pressure that's been happening where now people are really feeling poor. So they're going to be
Yeah.
willing to perhaps go against their morals to continue to buy stuff from China and India and like impoverished countries that are using
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
questionable
But
production.
maybe will nationalism beat profit? No,
No.
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think money will always win.
not in a capitalist society.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we should visit this communism versus socialism real quick
Okay, okay.
because we talked about it last time. So communism, for
Yeah.
each according to his ability, to each according to his needs. For
Mhm.
socialism, from each according to his ability, to each according to his contribution. So
Okay.
communism, you get what you need.
Uh-huh.
Socialism, apparently you will be compensated for doing more, and
Okay.
potentially be compensated less if you are considered useless.
Okay. So me. Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I think in modern times, like when people talk about Bernie Sanders being socialist, I don't
Yeah.
think they view it that way, right?
I
I think
think
they view it
he's like
as you can still make more
democratic
money, but if you're
socialism.
poor, you're gonna get like a basic living standard, right?
Hmm.
So I think the poor end is supposed to be handled under socialism. They
I
both have
think they're
central.
not even talking about like full socialism. They're still talking about like the
Yeah,
capitalist,
yeah.
but
It's
just
like
with
partial.
some
It's like
aspect
a
of socialism,
yeah. It's
right?
like a mixed
Yeah, yeah.
idea. They both have central governments. I mean, and basically all of these have central governments, I guess, right? Are there any without
Yeah.
central government? I mean, there's anarchy, but like, are there any modern systems that don't have a central government? I'm not really
Mm,
aware.
I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
not.
So for communism, all economic resources are publicly owned but controlled
Mhm,
by the government. Individuals
mhm.
hold no personal property. So I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
technically, like, not even your house would be
I think that's
yours.
fucked up.
Yeah,
I don't think communism is even worth considering, just
yeah.
because everything's controlled by government and it will always lead
Yeah,
to
which
tyranny,
this
just
is like a
greed
weird
and
dichotomy where it's like, okay, publicly
yeah,
owned but controlled by the government. Well, then do I even like you're saying I own it, but really I don't. Like really the government owns it in that case.
yeah, yeah. And the government is always not you,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, yeah. And then in socialism, you are allowed to own personal property, but all industrial and production capacity is owned by everybody and managed by the government,
Okay.
which I think is
I can see
interesting.
I can see that how's appealing, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people like this idea, but even one step further where it's managed by the people who own it. So do
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's better for like factories to be run by the government, or do you think it's
No,
better to be run by the people?
I think it's better to run by the people,
So you might even want to go
but
one step
not
further.
necessarily the people that own that works there, right? I think
So,
I'm pretty
well, yeah,
capitalist.
right. Like, do you think the owners versus the workers versus the community as a whole? There's a
I
lot of
don't think the
options.
government should own it just because how horribly run most
Yeah,
governments
I think we
are.
can both agree, and like probably most people agree that it would be great if people had a stake in their you know, like there's a factory in my city.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
should technically be a part of that and own a part of that and be able to influence it in some way, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but who do you think should have the rights to manage it? Because if you let anybody vote on how it's managed, it could potentially
Mhm.
be really mismanaged. If you let the government manage it, it could potentially be very mismanaged and
Yeah,
abused.
yeah.
If you let only the owners manage it, then maybe the workers get abused. If you let only the workers manage it, then maybe it won't be very profitable. But does that matter? Like, what do you think is ideal?
I think our current system's okay. I think we can introduce laws
Mm,
and like regulation to make them not able to abuse the worker as much.
yeah,
But
yeah. You
I
can
I
definitely put
don't
more
think
restrictions on things for
yeah,
sure.
I don't think the collective owning the production will have that great of an impact.
Mm.
I think it's probably fine. I'm not against it because I haven't seen how exactly it will
Well,
work, so
it's
I'm
like
not
it's like
gonna say
that
I'm against
Alberta
it.
or not Alberta, like in Alaska, the oil fields
Yep.
are like technically like the profits are shared amongst all the civilians there. Like if you
Yeah,
live in
yeah, yeah.
Alaska, you get like a check every year for like a
But I
couple.
think that's more of like um resources type, I think.
Yeah,
But
but
what about like innovation tech companies, right? Are the
well, yeah, that's the idea here, I
people
think,
gonna
right?
have the
Like I
input?
would get a portion of the profits. Everybody would get a portion of the profits, but the owners
Yeah.
would still manage it, right?
I mean, I guess that's just stocks, right? If you're talking about like
Yeah,
you can just
you're
purchase the
basically
stock of the
allowing
company.
everybody to be a shareholder of everything.
I think
And
that's fine. That's basically the stock market.
stock market, yeah.
Stock market. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just
Well,
saying.
yeah, it sounds like a good idea. You know, you still let the
I
people who are invested, you still let the people who understand business make good decisions.
I mean, isn't that
And
just the stock market? Like,
yeah,
right?
and then everybody gets to profit from that. And I suppose you should have some ability for the people to vote on decisions as well if they think it's being mismanaged, something like that, right?
Yeah, but you never own enough of equity to have a
Well, you would
voice.
have, yeah, you have to combine with other people. You would all have to agree on a decision and like kind of.
Yeah, but somebody's gonna own like say Bezos, right?
Well,
He
that's what I
owns
mean.
like
It's socialism, not capitalism, right? So we all own it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But he owns more than you, so he
In
gets more.
socialism, I
He
don't think they
gets
really allow that at all. I
okay,
don't think you're able to own a significant portion.
okay.
I think
I
you're able
guess
to
then
profit from it monetarily, but I don't think
uh-huh.
in socialism they really want you to be able to spend your money to buy more percentage.
Okay.
I think that's what it sounds like anyway.
I think that's a very ineffective system, right? It would take a lot of like
So you
or
think capitalism
work
is better?
deciding
You would rather
things.
people be able to own a larger percent?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Mm,
when someone's to make a decision, there shouldn't be uh, a vote for everything. Like I agree that there should be more democratic system, right? Like
mm.
people who own the company should have say of
Well,
the
yeah. I mean, you
future
can go
about the
back to
future. But
the
I think every little thing have to have a like owned by everybody will take way too long to decide.
yeah. Well, then you can go back to the standard idea here, where like the government. Well, you don't want the government to do it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you could
So one guy does it.
democratically elect, a manager type of idea, right?
Yeah, that's like a CEO right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's decided by everybody rather than
I guess
just
maybe
the.
that's isn't that just what we have right now?
No,
But I
because
don't think that's
like I
something we
own
can.
shares of TD, but
Yeah,
like I can't really influence. I don't get a vote in who's their
yeah,
CEO,
yeah. So it's
right?
just a limit how much you can own, and then everybody have the same amount of vote. Is
Yeah,
that how it
something like
works?
that. I
Yeah.
think, right?
This is a economic fucking class that I'm
Yeah,
not too interested in.
yeah,
I'm just I'm just okay with whatever.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Production is in communism. Production is intended to meet all basic human needs and is
Mm-hmm.
distributed to everybody at no charge. Sounds good,
Yep.
but again,
Never
you
work.
you're stuck with the basics technically, I guess.
Yep. Yeah,
In
yeah. The
socialism,
society
production
will
is
not
intended to
improve.
meet individual and societal needs and distributed according to your ability and contribution.
That's kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah, this is like a modern says this is like capitalist,
I
right?
want to have the RNG system. So
A
so
lottery system.
no, I mean, like, for from what I'm saying, right, the individual ability and contribution, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of against me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a worthless piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
So I
But you
would
don't want
rather
to get
have.
the same as everybody else?
Well, I won't get the same as everybody else
Well, in
because.
communism, you would.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's never gonna work. I would rather have RNG. I born into a better family than you. Then
Oh,
fuck you,
okay.
right?
Okay.
I born into a. I'm a Bill Gates son, so I win, right? I'm okay with that. I don't want to be a meritocracy,
Wait, so
right?
what if you're born into a poor family? Then what do you do?
Then that's the problem, right? That's just RNG bad luck.
You're
I'm
gonna
okay with
are you
it.
gonna accept your bad RNG or are you gonna try to do something about it?
I would re-roll.
Oh, and how do
Yeah.
you re-roll exactly?
You go to a very high building
Mm.
or a bridge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not the type of bridge where you say the game
It's got to be
awards.
tall enough so that God can hear you,
Yeah. Or
and then you
the water can.
ask him for isekai. Yeah.
Well, I don't have to go to a different world. I'm okay with the same
Oh,
world.
same role.
But
What if you just
I'm
get reborn as the
re-rolling.
same person every time?
No, I'm re-rolling in the same
Yeah,
world.
but what if
Right?
he just rolls you into the same person?
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
Right? I'll do it again. I will re-roll again. See how
infinite
it
loop.
goes. Well, one day it'll work. I believe.
Having faith is
I
very important.
I think that's a good system.
So in communism,
Obviously,
class is abolished. The
yeah.
ability to earn more than other people is not existent. So you don't like that.
No,
You want there to be class. You want classist society. You want a caste system. Yeah.
no. I'm okay with. You see, this makes me sound real bad.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's the whole point of this
I just think it's not
podcast.
gonna work, right?
This
I just think,
podcast is so that when we put you on the Hague
yeah.
trials, that we have a lot of proof of the type of like
Yeah. It's
communist
okay.
dictator you
I'll
are.
probably, well, you see, my plan is to die at 50, right?
Oh,
That's
okay.
as the previous podcast shown.
Yeah.
My plan is to die at 50.
I think you said 45, but okay.
I said 50. I'm pretty sure I said
Mm,
50.
we'll fact check.
The suicide pod is at 50.
I see.
So I'm pretty indifferent to the sanctions that
Mm.
you have imposed on me.
Yeah.
So
And then in socialism, there are classes, but the differences are diminished. It's possible for some people to earn more than others. So this is like a softer
yeah.
version of capitalism. Now, do you think
Yeah.
that's better or worse? Or
I
the
think that's
same?
probably better for majority of people. I think
Yeah,
it
for
is
the
better.
majority of people, it's better. Do you think
Hmm.
it's a better system, like logically?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I do.
Ideologically, it's probably better.
Yeah, I think having incentives for people to strive for
Yeah.
success is
Hmm.
important. Obviously, idealistically, altruism would drive people to do better, to do the best
Yeah.
they can, for no reason at all. But we're
Uh-huh.
humans, right? So being
Yeah.
able to give people some reward, even if it's not as big of a reward as now, I think will
Yeah.
still benefit society and like we'll make more progress that way.
We pray we evolve into Star Trek world
Yeah,
where mm, everything is already like tried, right? It's
yeah.
like
And
money's not a thing anymore.
I do think that reducing the gap, I care less about reducing the gap more than I care about reducing or increasing the floor. I think the poorest
Yeah.
people should still have a small house, have some energy and some food.
I agree. I agree.
Now, if they're still
But
billionaires, that's fine. I just don't
yeah,
want people starving and dying on the street and like having to work like a slave and,
for
that
sure.
sort of shit.
But yeah, in our current system, it doesn't allow that, right? They're always gonna exploit the
Yeah,
poor.
the bottom in capitalism is very, very low,
Yeah.
which I think is bad.
Mm,
Religion is abolished under communism.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. And socialism freedom is allowed, which is fine. I mean, I'm not a big fan of
Mm-hmm.
certain things, but
Yeah.
it's okay. So overall,
I'm
I think
okay with
socialism
it.
sounds like, first of all, more reasonable to become reality. Uh,
Yeah. But I'm okay
and
with current system too.
yeah,
Sure, people are starving and dying, but
it's not me. So if
yeah.
it's not me, then it's not a real problem.
I have the typical American, you know, thinking, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
me, not my problem. I think it's horrible, horrible
Oh
way
damn,
of
Belarus
thinking.
goes more west than I thought.
Really?
I thought Belarus
Like,
like kind of ended here, and that Poland was farther east.
no, no. Pretty sure it's
So
like right
yeah, so
above them.
maybe they'll draw a line like down here. But since Belarus shares this whole border, maybe they'll like try to take like and just leave a chunk of like Western Ukraine,
Hmm.
like Lviv and
I think
shit.
they will only take Western Ukraine, Eastern Ukraine. I mean,
You don't even think they'll go this far? Like they'll go far left
I
at all.
think they probably cut
What?
off at Kiev.
Mm.
That's my
I mean, that would make
my
sense, right?
guess. Yeah.
Then they have a huge area of the Black Sea that they can access
Yeah.
and kind of control.
Yeah.
They get the
Yeah.
major
I think that's his
cities.
goal, at least original goal, which we will probably get
Yeah.
in the end.
I mean, I don't know how much they care about Lviv.
Probably not. I think they only care about. I don't think he wants places where it's kind of worthless to him, and also people are against him. Like obviously, there are regions that's like pro Russia, right?
Yeah.
And 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 then there's also like valuable cities,
I guess
which
the
is
concern is if he only takes
yeah,
Kiev, there will be so much space for like Ukraine 2.0 to build up and like have a really strong rebel for you. You know, you run into like Israel,
yeah, yeah. But they
Palestine.
they they they're okay with Ukraine being Afghanistan, right? Like just constant fighting. I'm pretty sure that's part of their
Mm,
goal.
and just leave it that
So,
way.
hmm
That's interesting. Yeah, potentially.
I think they might take Odense as well, or I don't know what's it called,
Mm.
the southern portion, right?
Oh, Odessa. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Odessa, or yeah. I think they care about that too, just
Now,
just like the
so
Black
in a
Sea area.
scenario
So
where this happens, do you think Russia will push their luck? And like, what about Georgia? What about Moldova?
Georgia maybe, but I doubt Moldova.
Yeah, you don't think they'll bother?
But Moldova is not in the EU
And what
yet. I
about up
think they're
here? What
doing.
about Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania? Like, do you think they're
Those are
gonna?
EU countries. Those are EU countries.
Oh,
I
are
don't
they?
think they. Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, they're EU.
Oh, okay.
Moldova is not. I think they're being considered.
Mm,
So maybe Moldova, maybe Georgia, but I don't think the North three will get invaded.
interesting.
At least not
Okay.
near future. But yeah. So should we talk about something lighter than the war? We
Well, yeah, I think
It's been
so.
a
Like
pretty
anything
heavy
else, like I
episode.
mean, lots of bombing,
Yeah, we should talk
civilian
about
deaths. I guess the only thing we didn't really talk about is like the war crimes. Like obviously,
yeah
there has been some very serious
yeah.
crimes against humanity.
Mhm.
Now, even
There's
if
some
Putin wins,
graphic videos.
yeah, even if Putin wins, it's like sanctions are not going to be lifted until he fucking is tried for this shit. Isn't that like probably what they'll do? Or
Yeah, ICC.
do you think there's a path where they just forgive him and drop sanctions anyway?
I think if he surrenders with no conditions.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, let's say he takes Ukraine. Do you think they drop sanctions after like a year or two, or do you think
No
it's
way, no way, no way. I
yeah?
think he's going to on the path of being the next North Korea, being absolutely
Mm,
like isolated from the whole world.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the
Now, why do you think Kim does that? Like, don't you think he would benefit more from being friendlier with people?
I think China wants him to do it, right? So
Mm. So you think he gets enough support from China that it's fine?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I
Like,
heard they were doing really bad with COVID and stuff, but it's hard to get information out of North Korea, obviously.
really, I think they did okay. They just killed anyone who has it.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure that's actually their strat.
That's a good strat. What if Kim gets it?
There's no human rights there. Nobody
But
cares.
if Kim
Nobody's
gets
gonna
it,
stop you.
then medical treatment, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, for
But if a
sure.
random person gets it,
That's North Korea for you.
military
Like,
treatment.
I mean, that's kind of like the Western world is the same. Like when Trump got it, he got
Mm.
Regeneron like the next day. Nobody got that, right?
Yeah, I
He got
wonder what sort of methods went into them, like coming up with this concoction to give them that early. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't they make their own vaccine and profit off of it? If
Korea
no, the
or
states.
on the States. What
Yeah,
do you
like they
mean?
had
Like,
things to give the president, right?
hmm
So why didn't they market and sell like these sorts of things?
I think
Just
it's
to keep it
very
secret, or
limited. I think it's like very
oh,
limited
like it's hard to
until
produce?
later, where it's less like after a while. Like I think back in late 2020, maybe early
Mm.
2021, it becomes available. The treatment that Trump got basically got available
Oh, it
to
did.
almost everyone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
The
okay.
antiviral. Yeah. It was available
Mm.
to everyone who can get it, I think, or if they have it, or like basically whoever is eligible for it, like you test positive and they have the treatment in the hospital, I think you can get it
Can I go get it
almost
now, even
possible.
though I don't have COVID?
Probably not.
What if I just want to hit? Just one more hit.
Well, Canada is pretty open about drug use,
Yeah,
so I think
yeah.
maybe yeah,
And I'm
you don't
native,
get
so maybe it'll be covered. Dude, I
maybe
only get one dental visit per 12 months. It's kind of
yeah,
a scam. I have to pay for the other one.
and a lot of dental work is not covered in health
Oh,
insurance.
no.
Yeah.
I think some of it, I think the extreme stuff is covered. Because I'm native,
Oh
there
yeah,
is like
yeah.
an insurance I get. But the insurance is
Okay.
like good in some ways and really shit in others, so.
Yeah. When I fell off a bike in grade 9,
Mm.
grade 8 maybe,
Did you cry?
I chipped my tooth. No, I chipped my tooth, and I went to get a, like X-ray and what and the fill, right? It was like $1,000.
Yeah.
Like there's like
Did you
the
find
teeth.
the part you chipped off?
No,
Fuck.
and I guess the teeth is just not part of
Did
my
you look
body,
for it?
right? No,
Did you even realize that your tooth was chipped?
no,
Oh,
it
okay.
was still yeah.
Fuck, man,
It's
I wonder where it is.
uh, well, I won't reveal the. It's at my high school's
Oh, okay.
track,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'll go look for
and
it.
it's kind of shit. I think the Canadian system is kind of like a lot of drugs are not covered, right? Under health insurance, the free healthcare
Yeah.
so called, it's not covered.
Well, yeah, so mine's like basically free healthcare plus.
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
me, I have to pay for less than other people do. But
yeah.
for most people, it's pretty bad.
It's cheaper. Sure, it's obviously cheaper than the States, right? But the drugs I had to
Yeah, like at
like
the end of the
get,
day, our healthcare is still like top 10 in the
yeah.
world, but it could still be a lot
And
better.
I think Taiwan has better healthcare
Well, yeah, Taiwan's
for
one of the
sure.
best. I think I've heard
Yeah.
decent things about like Germany, maybe. I might be confused. And then
Like,
Northern Europe is good.
so I have diabetes, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then if I take insulin, the pen in Canada still costs like 20 to 100 a month, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And for me here, I get
20 to 100. That's quite a lot, quite a
yeah,
range.
depending on the
You want to
dosage that you
narrow
get,
that one
right? So
down?
and right here it's covered under health insurance.
Yeah.
So I get 3 months worth of insulin for $20.
Mm, that's pretty
And
good.
well, yeah. And at the beginning where I was using a lot more insulin, I have to take a long-acting one and a short-acting one. So the 2 pens,
Yeah.
and the long-acting one covers for 3 months with 1 pen, and the short-acting one I had to use 2 pen a month,
Mm-hmm.
and they only give you 2 pen at once. So the prescription is for 3 months,
Yeah.
and you pay only the first time, and the second and the third time you just go grab the pen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get 1 month worth of the pen,
So if you were
and
homeless, would they
uh
give you the insulin?
for sure, yes.
If you're homeless in Taiwan, will they give you shelter?
Pretty sure there's shelter.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm not familiar
What about like
with.
food stamps? Do you guys have like any sort of what are your social systems like there? Do you see
It's
a lot of
pretty
homeless
decent.
people?
No,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal. It's kind of fucked up.
Oh, so what do they
I
do?
think it's,
Go to jail.
I think there's shelter for them.
Mm. So they're allowed to like force them into a shelter, I guess.
I think so.
Mm.
Like I don't think you can sleep on the street
Yeah.
legally, at least.
Which I think is a good
And
idea. Like, I
mhm,
mean, obviously there's a big question of freedom versus,
safety,
well, yeah,
I
safety.
guess.
I mean, like a bunch of factors, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, is the ultimate freedom of being able to sleep on the street and, like, obviously a lot of homeless people don't disturb
USA.
anybody.
Let's go.
Yeah. But then you also
Mhm.
have homeless people who do harass people
Yeah,
and who
yeah.
do build, like, encampments. And,
And drugs.
yeah, like, do I want people making noise outside my house and doing drugs in the middle of the night and, like, destroying shit?
Hell
Like,
not.
even if it's a small percentage of homeless people, like, it's still a problem that you could technically get rid of completely by housing these people,
Yeah, yeah.
or sheltering these people. But then
For
you're
sure.
taking away their freedom. I'm forcing you into a shelter.
You look at San Francisco, the tent city,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah, like,
I
it's not
think
good. It's like, it's not a healthy way to live. So should we
yeah.
really support this? Like,
I'm okay with both. I'm
right?
okay with
It's like
yeah,
okay for them to have
eh,
freedom, but it's also okay to force
help
them
them.
to be helped. Like, it's a
Yeah, yeah,
weird,
yeah.
it's a weird thing. Like,
I think a lot of them are
it's the
mentally
Russian,
ill.
it's the Russian way of thinking. We're
Yeah, yeah,
forcing
yeah.
Ukraine to be helped by us right now.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of them are mentally ill, and the US
Yeah.
doesn't have the proper healthcare
Yeah.
system where
Mental
they can,
health
yeah.
is really poorly handled, like, all over the
It,
place.
yeah, even here in
Yeah.
Asia is kind of
Well, in
have a
Asia, there's like
stigma
huge
around it.
stigma. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Mhm.
In Asia, there's huge stigma. In the West, there's stigma, but there's also just like nobody gives a fuck. It's like depression is fake and these sorts of rhetorics.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Mhm.
pretty bad. If you're mentally ill, you're in for a rough time.
Yeah, and this like see my family is quite supportive of me,
Yeah.
right? And then that's not the case for a lot of people here.
Oh, definitely not.
I
You're like
talk to a lot of
ostracized.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're told to suck it up
Yeah.
or just like there's no help for you,
Yeah.
and the therapy is expensive as fuck here too.
Yeah.
Like it cost me $100 a session, maybe $120 a session here,
Hmm.
and the cost of living here is like 1/3 of the US
Yeah. So
or
it's like
Canada.
$300, $400 a session equivalent.
Yeah, it's very expensive here,
Mm.
and it's not covered on the house insurance. Well, house insurance covers the psychiatrist part and the drug part,
Yeah.
so I can get like the medication
Yeah. Yeah.
for $2, but for therapy, it's not covered, so it's gonna cost a lot, and so it's
Which
not
is
really
horrible because most people
recognized.
can't afford it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like you need it. Some
It's
people
even
do.
expensive in Canada too. When
Oh,
I had
yeah.
therapy in Canada, it was $100 too.
Yeah.
Sure, it's cheaper because the cost of living comparison, but it's still quite expensive. You go to 2 sessions a week, that's $200 a week. That's quite a
Oh, yeah. It's like
lot.
most people can afford like a session a month if they're lucky.
Yeah. And the medicine that I had to pay for the prescription, it was also like $30
Yeah.
every 2 weeks. It was not cheap to
Well,
be
yeah. Then you're wanting
ill.
to get people to try this prescription, that prescription, this dose, that dose. And,
Yeah,
these
yeah.
costs
And
are
I'm
things
a
that
lot
people can't
more
afford.
Yeah, and especially homeless people, and they don't get any help.
Well, yeah, it's like the most vulnerable population are the
Yeah,
poorest, and
yeah,
you're the only path to help costs quite a lot of money, and it's not really
what?
covered by much of anything.
Yeah,
So you're
it's,
fucked.
it's kind of fucked up, the world we live in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you need to handle all of that with no help,
yeah,
enough to get a job and clean up, just so that you can work like a slave to afford
yeah,
a little bit of
forever.
help.
Yeah,
Like,
you can never
great.
afford any like nice
Yeah, no
thing,
luxuries.
house,
Yeah, no,
car.
you're a
Yeah,
total slave.
yeah.
And just to maybe get some help that might help you.
And I said I support capitalism, and this is the result of capitalism. I feel evil
Good
now,
take.
but
Good take.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, I am. It's whatever. I'm okay with getting flamed for
Mm,
this. Whatever.
hmm
It's not like there's a better.
Well, socialism,
No,
like it's hard to
yeah,
implement, but when we
yeah,
think idealistically,
yeah.
socialism sounds pretty good.
Even communism sounds good and ideal, right? It's just like it just won't work.
Yeah. The only weird thing about communism is that there's a lot of government control,
Yeah,
and there's no inherent incentive for innovation and
yeah, for sure.
and doing a really good job. And again,
Mhm.
like it would be lovely if everybody was altruistic and trying really hard to help each other.
Yeah.
But people are shitty, so giving them like a carrot on the stick, pretty important.
Mm-hmm. Eh, I'm just a shitty person. I'm okay with
Yeah, you need a big
being
fucking
labeled as
carrot,
such.
man.
I'm okay with being. I took a. Dude, that's I have to. I want to talk about this. I
Yeah.
took a fucking English proficiency test
Oh yeah. Did you get your
the
result?
other day. No, not yet. I
Mm,
get the result in 2 weeks, around 2 weeks. So in four more podcasts.
okay.
It's such a garbage test too, and it cost me 1900
1900.
USD. So it's around, math is hard. It's like $80
I thought you
Canadian
said 1900,
US.
like 1900 converted. I
No,
was
1900
gonna
local
say.
dollars.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like 80 US around there. Well, I applied late, so it costs a little bit more. It costs
Uh,
$10 more.
oh
It
fuck.
should be like 70.
Scam.
So it's basically you get a certificate, and they when they give you the mark, you can also buy the another type. It's a certificate. The one you get is a report card
Yeah.
where there's the score you got, but there's also a certificate where it ranks you like from different color. There's gold, there's like green, blue,
Mm.
whatever, based on your score, and that costs another $20. That's such a fucking scam,
Even
right?
though even though you've already done everything and you deserve this certificate, you got to pay for it.
Yeah. But I think apparently the report card works the same as the certificate.
Just
But
doesn't look as nice. And then
yeah.
if you don't have the certificate, people will know that you're poor.
I guess I'm pretty sure I will get close to max score, but I won't. Like I was thinking about getting the certificate if I can get the max score, but I don't
Oh, is
think I
there a
will get
different
the max.
rating for perfect score and
No,
like
no, no. It's like the perfect score is 990.
yeah.
I think if you get 850 to 990 is the same.
Damn,
Mm.
850.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
So
mistakes to still get the same as the perfect score.
yeah. It's like, I was thinking like unless I get a perfect score, I will
Does it
like
say your score on it? Or does it just say like
yeah.
tier 1?
I don't know. I think it says your score, but the
Oh,
color
okay.
of the paper will be different.
Yeah, so if you get like 970 plus,
You still get the same as 860.
yeah, but I mean like you'll buy the certificate if you get 970 plus, right?
No, only if I get 990,
Not even a
which I hope.
980?
Nah, I
Come
think I'll probably
on,
get
dude.
980. I'll probably get 980.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident in the reading comprehension part, and the listening part was kind of annoying because they have different accent and the speaker wasn't very clear.
Oh,
So
was it a
I
Taiwanese person speaking English?
no, it's definitely a foreign white people voice.
Oh,
It was more British. Like
oh,
some of they use a lot of different accent. They don't just use like typical American or Canadian.
I see. Because
They use
English
some European ones.
proficiency, you might have to deal with like a lot of
Yeah.
accents
But
in
I
real
mean,
life
I
anyway,
can
right?
understand British English,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
Indian English. I can understand like the accents,
yeah,
but it's just the speaker when they say it, like when they play the questions, it's unclear a lot of times,
yeah.
and
I mean, I've been
you
talking to
cannot
tech
ask.
support and not understanding what the fuck they're saying sometimes, so
Yeah, and the another thing is because they're playing a recording for the test, you cannot ask a question during the test, at least for the listening part, because they have to keep playing the recording.
mm,
So if you don't if you miss the question, you miss the question. It's kind
it's
of
kind of
fucked
a
up.
scam.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a requirement that you want to put on your resume here.
Yeah, yeah,
I think I would just put it, I just did it just cuz I get a extra month of doing nothing, right? Just waiting for the result.
yeah.
Kind of yeah, but I mean like I've been in Canada for like what, more than half my life, like 13, 14
Yeah,
years.
your English is fine. I'd be surprised if you
Yeah.
got too bad, like too many mistakes.
Yeah, but the thing is, they don't care. Like when I went to interview, they're like, they don't even test my English. Like they don't have anyone speaking English talk to
Mm,
me, and then management doesn't care. Like
how's
I
your
speak to like
Taiwanese?
I can understand Taiwanese. I can't speak it.
Oh, do you speak Mandarin?
Yeah, I speak Mandarin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I speak Mandarin pretty fluently.
Is your Mandarin less fluent than English?
Yeah, I
Mm,
would say so. But I, I can read and I well, the only thing I can't do is write Mandarin.
yeah, it
Like
looks
it's
annoying to
kind of
write.
yeah, I can type it. I can type it,
Those
no problem.
symbol languages seem like such a fucking pain in my ass.
Yeah. I can type it though. Like I know the inputs for like
Oh,
the
I see.
language.
Yeah, they got some
So
interesting keyboards.
and yeah, like it's way easier to input the thing because it's based on sound, the pronunciation of the word. So if you can read the word, you can pretty much type it, and then it will type. It will give you options, and the autocorrect in Mandarin is quite insane. Like it will predict the words. Right? So you type like hello, you don't have to finish hello. You probably type like HEL, and it will like.
Mm,
Are you trying to type this maybe, or if you type close enough, it will ask you if you're typing it right.
mm,
Some of the input will do that, like not all of them. Obviously, there's like super fast input based on the 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 looks of the word, like combination of the word. All the words are combination of like simpler words. So some people are very good at input and they just type in like combination of the words, and
yeah.
it's a
Now, how do you
very
write the
difficult.
different tones?
Oh, it's just there's symbols for it. So uh it's just a line going up or down
Oh, like
or up and
French,
down.
like an
Yeah. But
accent, like
but you
above the
don't write it
symbol.
out on the words. You only use it as input. It's only part of the input. You don't have to. The word with different. I don't know how to explain with different sound.
Yeah.
The
Okay, so what's a
it's
word that's spelled the
it's built in.
same but tonally different? Like, what's an example?
Mm,
Like where the tone changes the word only.
uh, so give me any word. I'll give you the. You give me any English word and
Okay,
I'll.
like sun.
Okay, so it's called sun is called 太阳.
Yeah,
So let's just use the first word, Tai,
yeah.
right? And then see Taiwan, right? It's also Taiwan. So it's like the upper sound, right? So Tai and then Tai, right? So
Yeah.
the two different word. Like it's you only
So now if
when
I
you
wanted to write Thai, how would
it's
it be different
totally
between
completely
those
different
two?
words. When you just write the word, it's completely different. But when you input it, You put it
Oh,
based on
so the
sound.
symbol is going to be totally different?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
But when you
so there's
input,
symbols that
it's gonna be the
represent
symbol.
each tone?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn.
But it's only for input. Like the tone doesn't matter in the word because the word already have the input already have the tone in there. So it's only matters when you input the word. So when I put Thai, right? T-A-I, and then I put either 1, 2, 3, 4, like the tone 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
and then if I put three, if I put four, it'll become the sun. It'll tell you if you want this word. There's like 50 words with the same tone and the same spelling. It's
Mm.
just different word. So when you write it out, when you type it out, you have options to see like which one you want to pick. It's kind of
This shit sounds totally
so
fucked up. That's all I know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's the tone only matters when you input the word that you see already have the input in there. So you don't have to write like say French. When you have tone, you have to actually put the symbol
Yeah,
on
the
top of
accents.
the
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because when you see the word, that's how you say it. Like you just say the word
Yeah.
as it's spelled. But in Mandarin, you see the word, you have to know what it sounds like basically already. It's weird. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain that really, but
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
it's a pretty
Uh
fucked up way of yeah.
Similar to the socialism and communism, why do you
Mhm.
think the fascism stuff has been so popular lately?
I think people just regard it
Like, what
the
does
same.
fascism represent? We love our country, and it's like,
I think that's more nationalism, right?
well, I think that's part of fascism, right? Like, we love our country. It's like super nationalistic, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it's like a dictatorship. But why do
Yeah.
people want that? Why would you walk around and hope in your mind, like, yes, I hope I get dictatored?
I think they're just brainwashed
Well,
into being
what's the
proud
benefit
of.
of fascism? Like, what is their argument? Because I don't really follow this stuff.
I don't know. I'm not a fascist, so I'm not
Mm.
sure. uh,
Because I'm
I
just
don't know.
curious. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, what is their angle? I guess
I
again.
think they're just too insecure, and then they want to have something to be proud of,
Mm.
right? It like, and I can see. I mean, dictatorship is kind of stupid.
Well, yeah, I
It's
don't trust. I don't trust the
yeah,
government in
yeah,
general. I'm definitely not going to
mhm,
trust like a dictatorship government.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just think these people want something to follow, and that's why religion's so popular, right?
Yeah, I think religion
I
also from like fear of death and like lack of purpose, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
religion has like a lot of answers for those sorts of things. Which this sort of like ultra nationalism, like it distracts you from everything else, right? When you have
Mhm.
like a really extreme view, I guess it
Yeah,
like takes over your whole brain, so you don't have time to worry about anything.
yeah. And people are not bright enough to think for
Oh
themselves,
yeah,
so
definitely not.
I think it's yeah.
Do you think that people like because there's been a lot of talk about people having less and less of an attention span?
For sure.
Do you think
I
do you think that
have
lends itself to fascism and these extremist beliefs, like that people are just not even thinking enough,
no.
like considering things long enough?
No, I think people are just not
So even if they sat around and thought about it all day, they would come to the same
yeah, yeah.
conclusion. So why
I
do they
think
think
they're
that
not
way?
I think they're just low IQ. I don't think
Should
it's a
they be
problem of
purged? What do you
I
think
think
about
it's just
eugenics?
no, no, no. I
No?
think it's a problem of less critical thinking teaching right now, and then
So how do you teach
sh-
critical thinking?
uh, yeah,
I guess you have to give examples, right?
I'm not sure. I just think like
Well, it's like if you
you
were to
should
talk to a racist
yeah,
and you want them to think critically,
yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, how do you convince them?
I'm not sure. I feel like I'm very
Well, it's like I can't even
lazy
comprehend
with trying
thinking,
to.
oh, this person's pigment is dark, is different, or lighter or darker. They're a piece
Yeah,
of shit. Like
I think
that's like
it's very hard to teach these people. Like they're already very convinced of their own beliefs. I think
yeah,
in kids, like you just try to expose them to as many things as possible, and you don't
yeah,
try to make them just memorize everything. Just try to let the experience thing, read
mm,
books, read very different books, right? You don't ban any books just because there is like words you don't like in there.
yeah.
I think I'm not
And
sure it will work.
a lot of people talk about kids not having attention spans and
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a
fucking,
problem for sure.
like they're on social media and you've also, I
Yep.
don't know if you've
I
seen it,
think
but
social
like
media is a poison.
YouTube
Yes.
has been trying to go into,
Shorts.
yeah,
Yeah.
right? Like it's all about this attention span.
Short form entertainment is the future. It's like also same in gaming, right?
And
It's
it's
like
garbage. Do you see some of these YouTube shorts that get like six? There's this
yeah,
one that
yeah.
keeps popping up with this girl who's like cooking something or eating something. And she's like, I was in New York and I got a steak. Do you guys like steak? And then it ends.
I have
And it
no
gets like
idea.
6 million views every time.
See, we're trying to save the future generation by making a
Yeah, we're
long
making
form
long form
content.
video content, right? We're making
Exactly.
long form entertainment.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I feel
But
like a
the
lot of
algorithm
people,
by YouTube will hate it. So
yeah, I feel like a lot of people have a really hard time just sitting down and indulging in it, right?
I have the same problem. I found like I find my attention span has lowered
Mm.
dramatically, like compared to my younger
And why do
self
you
at
think that
least.
is?
It's just social media and just entertainment content.
Do you
It's
want
just
to,
what
do
it
you try to
is.
change that?
No, I'm too lazy. I'm okay with
See,
being
I've always
poisoned.
really loved film.
Hmm.
So I think it's just natural for me to like sit there and stare at one thing for like hours.
Yeah, I mean, I still am able to like binge a show or
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
movies, but I think my average attention span to most things have definitely lowered. Like I will watch a YouTube video and they don't get to the point and I just close it.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty like
And you
not
think this is caused by like social media and stuff?
for
Like you think
sure.
if this didn't exist that you would have a longer attention span for
Yeah,
whatever?
there's a gecko or okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I think so.
Now, what do you think about the lockdowns? Like,
The
and their effect on people's attention spans and mental
that I'm
health?
not sure. I didn't really experience lockdown, right?
Hmm.
This I stay at home most of the time anyway, but I can go out whenever I want because the places I'm in didn't really force me.
Yeah.
But
But do you think it
I
makes these
think
problems worse? I mean, first of
probably
all,
'cause
do
they
you
consume.
consider them problems? Is it a problem? Like, everybody talks about it in a really negative way. But
I
is it
think
a
it's a
problem
problem.
to have like a short attention span and to be enjoying a bunch of different content? I mean, as long
I
as you
think
can
it's a
focus when
problem.
you need to, right?
I don't think they can focus. It's
Do you think it
hard.
like causes like attention deficit disorders? Do you think those
Yes,
can
for
be
sure.
caused?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm.
I think they do. They, like people have to take Adderall,
Well,
and
now, conversely, do you think you can uncause it? If you force yourself to start.
you probably have to do like rehabs. Like
Yeah,
there's actual rehabs out there. That's yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Like you
think
calm
it can be
down.
safe.
You don't click on it. You
Yeah,
don't get clickbaited. You don't watch shorts unless, like it's really something interesting. And when you click on a video, you watch it for 5 minutes.
hmm.
And you
I
gotta
think
kind
it
of
can be
like,
trained, but
yeah,
the amount of stuff you're exposed to, unless you very you have very good self restraint, you always going to get exposed to the
yeah. And I
contents.
guess I kind of do that subconsciously where like I go out of my way to not click on clickbait.
pretty sure it's like engineered to the max to make you like. I think these platforms knows like
Yeah, they're just
Facebook,
trying to get you to
YouTube,
click.
they make you to engage like TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Like
But at least TikTok is presenting it like, here you go. YouTube is like hiding it, within this whole other
yeah,
platform.
but I think it doesn't matter. I think the attention span is just fucked for most people.
Well, that's the problem. Like, I liked that YouTube was not about a short attention span, Andy.
Yeah, yeah, but they have to compete with the
Do they though?
market, right?
They really?
TikTok is pretty big. It's
Yeah, but
becoming bigger than YouTube.
why is it always like a competition to be number one? Fucking this, like, it's fine.
Money.
Yeah, but it's fine, dude. You don't need every cent out of every
You
fucking
don't. I do. Right? I own YouTube shares. I'm okay with it.
YouTube shares. Yeah, good old company.
Google shares. It's the
Yeah.
same thing.
Well, Google shares. You're getting closer, one step up. Alphabet, dude. Come on.
Alphabet. I mean, isn't there tick still Google?
Maybe,
Right?
maybe. But even
I
if
don't know.
the ticker is Google, it's still Alphabet. So
Yeah. I mean, are you gonna call Facebook Meta? Right?
no,
Yeah,
no.
but they're called Meta,
And I'm
right?
not going to call Google Alphabet unless somebody else is calling it Google, so I can make fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you say Facebook share, I'll bully you.
Okay, I
But
see.
if I say Facebook share, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there was a study, self-reported, but that 30% of people were actually happier with lockdowns. Now,
I
do you
mean,
think that's
I'm
because
sure.
they're losers? They get bullied
Yes.
in school. Yes? Yeah?
I think a lot of people prefer working at home anyway, so I think it's
No,
we
we're
have more
by
options.
children. It's children.
Oh, you mean children?
Yeah. 30% of children said that they were happier with lockdowns.
I think they're just dumb.
Dumb?
Mm-hmm.
Stupid people are happy with lockdowns. Smart people are extroverted. Stupid people are introverted. True?
False,
Hey, wait a
but
second. Something's not
somewhat
adding up
true.
here. Somewhat true.
I'm not saying it's always true, but I'm saying those
Mmm.
people, sure, yeah. If it's me, then it's not true. When it's
Okay.
them, it's true. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, that makes
it
sense.
should. If you're smart enough, it'll make sense. So I assume you understand how it works.
I get you.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So
what else happened? Yeah, we had the 222 2022 Tuesday.
ooh,
And surely somebody turned 22
not
two.
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
What
is
a
the
cool
simulation
day.
real?
No.
It was a Tuesday, man. 2/22/2022 Tuesday? That's
Yeah, but
like,
it's bound to happen.
no,
It's
because
bound to
it doesn't
happen
have to be a
again.
Tuesday.
Hmm.
And you got to think about it this way: 2 is the only number that shares in English a day of the week, like verbiage, right?
Yes.
And the only date that will ever have more twos than this is
That's why
200
English
years
is
from
the
now.
inferior language.
Pardon me?
I said that's why English is the inferior language.
So what language
For
does
in
it better?
Mandarin, every day other than Sunday has the number in there.
Oh, so what's
That is
1 and then what's Monday?
Monday is one and Tuesday is
But like,
two.
what is the pronunciation? How do you say 1?
E.
And then how do you say
So
Monday?
you just say day one, right? Weekday one and weekday two.
Oh, they don't
Yeah.
have names.
No.
Oh, I see. And
And
is
then
Monday considered day 1 or is Sunday considered day 1?
that's the debate that we have in English as well. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it starts at one, right? So it's probably the first. But Sunday is called this. It's not called. It doesn't have a number.
Oh,
So it's like Sky Day or whatever, right?
oh, okay. So Monday is day 1 then.
Yeah. But the calendar also still starts at Sunday. So
Oh, that's really
yeah,
weird.
so yeah. And we also use a um different calendar. We use the lunar calendar as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we have Chinese New Year at end of January.
Yeah.
So that's the January in for real when February starts.
Are there any major differences, any other major differences between the lunar calendar and the, what do we use? Gregorian?
Gregorian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot. It's just like I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Mm.
But like a lot of traditional families here will look at the dates in lunar calendar to pick like, oh, this day is good for a wedding. This day is good for a funeral. There's a lot of those kind of things
Mm.
in the lunar calendar that we use, and a lot of older people will celebrate their birthday in lunar calendar instead. So mhm.
Does the
We also
lunar
use a
calendar
different.
have the same months?
Yeah. It's 12 months as well.
But they have different names, I guess.
No. It's also
Oh, really?
we also use numbers for months, like month
Mm.
1, month 2. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does it go to
And
12 or do they have a special month with a different name?
it also goes to 12.
Oh, okay.
I'm 12. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And we also use a different year system here. So I'm born on
Oh,
year 86 instead of like 1997.
what the
It's
fuck?
just it's just no. It's kind of same as Japan, right? Like they base the year on their like emperor or whatever.
Oh, wait, so
We base
year 86 or 1986?
no 86. It's
Oh,
when
and does it, it'll
Republic of China
change?
started.
Oh,
No, it doesn't change. It used to change because like the different dynasty,
so
right?
it's
Like
year
Qing
90,
dynasty.
wait, you were born in 86, so it's like, what year is it for you now? 110? How the fuck old are you? I
110.
don't even know how old you are.
112, 111 now. I think. Well,
Oh, okay.
I'm 24, turning 25.
I'm 20. Don't even know your own age, man. You're fucking gone.
1997. So yeah, turning
I
25.
see.
But it's like you add, well, you take the current year and minus 1911.
What?
So it would be
Oh,
111.
oh, oh, okay.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Because that's
So
when
it's
like
111.
1911. Yeah. So
I see.
1911 would be the year that started the
Oh,
country.
now we know why. Well, this is inside common, but Seppuku, our friend, his username
Uh-huh.
is 1911, isn't it?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Maybe it's 1191.
Yeah,
Anyway.
maybe that's it. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
Uh,
Japan also used a different form of the year,
oh,
like
yeah.
based on
Wait,
their
even different
emperor.
than lunar calendar?
The year system, I think.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know
I think
much.
they don't
Like,
use
Iranian
lunar
New Year is
calendar.
different as well. I don't really know what calendar and shit they use or what.
I think most of the country just use lunar compared to the one we use.
I don't think Iranian New Year is the same as Chinese New Year, though.
I'm
I
not
think it's
sure.
different. I might be wrong,
Maybe.
though.
What else is it based
Other news. Oh, yeah. There was a 15-year-old
on? Mm-hmm.
wrongly charged with shooting a store clerk. They brought him in for questioning, and they
Uh-huh.
offered him McDonald's if he agreed to confess.
I think that happens way more than you think. They just want a conviction or just like, oh my god, can you hear that?
Again, yeah.
It's like a gecko in my room.
In your room?
Yeah.
How'd he get in there?
I don't know.
A gecko?
There's
I didn't even
yeah,
know they made noise.
a lizard. I don't know. Maybe it's a lizard. I
Hmm.
don't know. It's like a small kind of bug
Does that
looking.
happen a lot?
Yeah.
Uh,
There's there's all sorts of things. There's like mosquitoes, so there's gonna be like the ones that eat them, right? Spiders
yeah.
and
Dude,
yeah,
I hate
so
mosquitoes. Fuck. Is
yeah,
Taiwan a humid country?
it's pretty humid.
Hmm.
So there's gonna be a lot of mosquitoes in the summer.
So they offered him McDonald's.
Hmm.
He said no. He's proven innocent.
Yep.
You think a lot of people get bribed like that?
Yep. Because
Do
they
you think
would
it's usually
rather.
McDonald's?
You don't know the funny trope in anime
No.
where they offer them like fried pork rice, like pork
Mmm.
cutlet, like in the police station. Like here, we can look it up, right?
Now,
But
what if he took the bribe and confessed, but then
police.
was proven innocent? Is there any consequences for that?
I don't think they're. I don't think it's a bribe in terms like they're just trying to get him to
Well, I mean,
talk.
technically,
Like,
this is a bribe.
yeah.
In
What
this
if
in
they
this
say
specific story, allegedly, they
if it's
legitimately
in
bribed
exchange
him.
for the thing, then sure,
Yeah. But
right?
in
In
general, they
exchange
would
for
be
your
like, hey,
confession,
is there anything you want? We really want to get a confession from you. Hey, would you
hmm
like some McDonald's?
yeah. I think if they say in exchange for like your confession, we'll give you McDonald's, then that's right. That's a
Yeah.
bribe or whatever. But if it's just we'll give you McDonald's, we'll give you whatever, and then you can start talking to us because maybe he's refusing to speak or sort of things,
Yeah.
then I think that's not a crime. That's just a strategy. 'Cause they try to like cozy up to them, tell them to start talking.
Yeah.
But if it's in exchange for a confession, then obviously that's very wrong.
Oh, for
And
sure.
yeah,
TikTok
mostly
steals your data. Did you know that?
yes. I don't use TikTok though. I see clips on YouTube all the time, but I don't use it myself because I don't really use my phone that much.
Yeah. Apparently they use some sort of workaround to scam the App Store of the data protections. I mean, I don't know.
Mm.
But
Visa and MasterCard blocked Russian banks from network.
yeah.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Rubles going down the toilet.
yeah. But they can still use crypto, right?
Are you gonna sell your crypto for rubles?
I mean, maybe. Huh. See. Yeah. But yeah, see, all the most of the crypto exchanges are against banning Russian-based address. Right?
Yeah.
So
That,
Kraken,
that that's
Binance.
like it's like an interesting argument about decentralization and like the Switzerland, whole approach of neutrality. Are you
Yeah, but
really being neutral by not? Well, apparently they're like sanctioning Russia now or whatever, right? But
mhm.
before that, like, is it actually neutral to?
No, it's you're still taking a side. You're just
Yeah, exactly, right?
it's the trolley problem, right?
Kind of.
Are you gonna
I mean, in the trolley problem, you can just choose to do nothing, and I guess
yeah,
that's
that's what they're doing,
fine.
right? They're not doing anything.
But they are because they're allowing they were going to allow Russia to trade with them still.
Yeah, by being doing nothing, like making no changes to their plan,
Yeah, but
right?
not making a
Continuing.
change to
The
a plan you're
keyword is
already
continuing, right?
doing is different
Mhm.
than not doing anything at all. A true neutral would be, oh yeah, I don't even know.
I think it is. I think it is.
Like, what
Like
is true
the
neutral?
I think that what they're doing is considered neutral. My God, this guy is
I guess
making noise.
neutrality is just treating everybody the same no matter what.
Yeah. I think it's just continuing what you're doing. So I think if since Switzerland has decided to come out and sanctioning Russia, I think they're picking a side. But if they didn't, it's still kind of neutral,
Yeah, if they didn't pick a side.
right? But I think it's
But see, you're
they
not
they tend
neutral
to
anymore
start.
because now everybody is mad at your decision. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess you're still
yeah. I
neutral,
think
but like,
in their theory it is neutral, but in most people's eyes, you're letting
you're like
the
pro-Russian. Yeah,
trolley to keep going to kill somebody. So
yeah,
it's not neutral in their eyes because they think indecision is still a decision, right? So you're letting the trolley kill that one guy
yeah,
or
yeah,
five guys, I guess five guys instead of one.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree it is not
Yeah, that
neutral, but
situation,
you
that
can argue
situation and
it
whole
is.
argument is really weird.
I mean, they can argue all they want. People will start like be against you if you're against them, right?
Well, yeah, like
So
let's just say I made my own country or my own thing, and I'm saying I'm neutral. I'm never going to be involved in any conflicts, any wars, any politics. Here's
yeah,
my trade agreements. You can all participate in this at any time.
yeah.
So then I guess, yeah, like continuing to trade with Russia really is neutral.
Hmm.
But it's also a shit thing to do. Like being neutral isn't cool.
Yeah, isn't always
It's
good.
not
Yeah,
good. So,
yeah,
yeah, cool, you're neutral, you're not neutral. Nobody gives a fuck. Like,
yeah, yeah.
you're being a piece of shit.
Eventually, people will just be against you, and then you have no allies in the
Well,
end.
yeah. It's like, why even try to be neutral? Like, what, you want to die alone on your neutral fucking hill? Like, good job. Stupid fuck. Yeah, that's all the news I got. Do you find
No,
anything interesting?
nothing really. I saw news the other day that's kind of funny, where the artist is a little bit old news, where a security guard drew eyes on pictures of like the artwork.
Mmm.
Like here,
Oh,
let
like
me
in a
look it up.
museum or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Eyes. Okay, there we go. Russian painting vandalized by bored security guard who drew eyes on it. Yeah.
Let's take a
It's
look
kind
at
of funny.
this.
He drew eyes on there.
You remember that old one where that lady like tried to restore the painting by herself and
Oh
fucked it
my
all up?
god, that was such a ugly picture. He drew eyes on this one. And what surprises me is
On
how
his
cheap it
first
is to
day.
fix it.
His first day, vandalized by a bored security guard.
Mhm.
What the fuck? 75 million rubles, aka 740,000 euros.
That was then. How much is it now? $2 US.
609,000. Damn. 140k gone.
Yeah, and also, but to fix it, it's pretty cheap. It costs 4,600 to fix it. If you look at restoration experts said it costs 250,000 rubles to fix it.
Restoration work, yeah.
It's kind of
4,600.
surprising to me how cheap it is to fix a
Yeah, I
painting.
think a lot of these are, they have like protective layers or something like that.
I guess, yeah,
Like it's not, he's not drawing on like the original paint, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, maybe. It looks kind of shit anyway. The painting.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, the painting is shit. Or, I mean, like Van Gogh, for example, not Van Gogh. Who's the surrealist? He did like, Picasso.
Yeah.
Picasso's art, to me, who am I? But a plebeian. He's some ugly ass dog shit.
Yep.
Okay? Why the fuck is that guy famous? Am I missing something here? Is there some lore that I'm missing?
Mhm. I'm
Have you
not
seen his
sure.
art? Have you seen
No.
Picasso's?
Yeah, some of it.
They're fucking
I mean,
garbage.
it's like, I mean, some people like it, I guess.
Sure, but anybody can draw that nowadays. And like, was he so innovative? Like, is he doing something that nobody had ever considered before? Like, hey, I'm gonna intentionally draw this person in a really shit way.
Maybe we're just not
But yeah, I mean, I
good
must
enough
be
to
ignorant.
enjoy.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
appreciate art. That's the problem.
yeah. We're not high IQ
Definitely
art
not.
enjoyers.
I have at most 75 IQ.
Yeah, the best kind of art is stickman figures.
Yeah.
That's my
Well,
level.
what about
My level.
the three, like the three lines? It's like three colors. It's like a flag almost.
Hmm.
It's worth like millions of dollars for some reason. Like it's like this whole historical
Yeah, I mean,
precedent, blah blah
when
blah.
you're famous, all those things just become fucking um
Yeah,
called money laundering
yeah, yeah,
schemes.
yeah,
So
yeah. Trading art for yeah. I know
yeah,
what you
yeah,
mean.
or donating the art for like super high value, right? Like just for a tax break or
Yeah,
whatever. I'm not professional at this, so I don't know if that's like what they do.
yeah. I think something like that is true. So Russia's gonna take Kiev in a week, according to Peter.
Yep. Yep.
Putin has no win condition. He's in deep shit.
Hmm.
You don't think Ukraine's gonna hold on? Is Zelensky gonna be killed or captured?
I don't think he will die, but maybe. I think it's a 50-50
Or
situation.
flee? Do you think there's any chance he flees?
No.
Okay.
So it's a 50-50. There's no.
And you don't think the West is going to get involved? You don't think any other small countries are going to get directly involved?
Yeah, yeah. Not no war declaration, at least.
Okay. So far, plenty of dead Russians, fair amount of dead Ukrainians, lots of war crimes, civilians getting bombed, the usual.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things that I've seen is that whenever UK politicians are talking, whether
Yep.
they're reading off a paper or a prompter or whatever, when they
Yep.
try to say Ukraine, a
Hmm.
lot of the time they say UK because it's like spelled the same way, pronounced the same way.
Yeah.
So they go like UK or Ukraine like over and over and over again.
Huh.
That shit cracks me up every time.
That's funny.
Uh, and yeah, I mean that's it, really.
We'll have another episode later this week.
Hopefully,
Probably.
yeah, we'll see.
Yep.
There was something else, wasn't there? Oh yeah, we need some advice. How about you give Zelensky? What's your advice to Volodymyr Zelensky right now? If you had 30
Okay.
seconds on the phone with him, what are you going to tell him to do, man? How are you going to advise this man?
Drink some water.
Mm. Stay hydrated, stay healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
What about coffee?
No. Coffee
No
makes you
coffee.
no, no, no.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
moderate amount, moderate amount. Like
Oh,
don't go too much.
sure, sure. Is he
Some
allowed to take
healthy.
stimulants?
I don't see why not?
Bump a couple lines.
Sure. It's
There's
a
no time to sleep.
war time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe play some CS:GO.
Oh, yeah. That's good practice, right?
Yeah.
Well, rather than CSGO, they should play War
Like the
Thunder, right?
drone simulator.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Apparently the company that owns like World of Tanks and War Thunder donated a bunch of money as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah.
take those military sims very
I think
seriously.
my advice are pretty good,
I agree.
pretty useful.
So if Ukraine clutches the war, now we know
Thanks to
why.
me.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they probably won't. My prediction is they lose.
Well, now you get
But
the win-win, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. If they win, it's
You play
me.
both
When if
sides.
they lose, I guessed it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
And if China gets inspired by the Ukrainian invasion by Russia,
Ooh.
hopefully Lisa Su will put on an AMD mech suit
Hmm.
and defend the island, yeah?
Yeah, maybe. I will be running off the island.
You're gonna run
I'll be
off the
swimming.
island.
I'll be swimming
Okay.
towards. Mm,
China.
no, no, no. See, I don't want to go Philippines either, so I guess I have to go
Okay.
to Japan.
Yeah, can't go south. Yeah, you gotta go northeast to Japan.
Yeah, or I had to swim to Hawaii, which is a little bit too far.
If you do it on your back and kind of drift and like float, you can probably make it.
Yeah, I'll probably get eaten by sharks or some
Bring some
shit.
rations. Oh yeah, I saw apparently the Russian rations are all expired and shit.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think, and they're like tanks are super old, and like a lot of them are running out of fuels. Like they don't have supply.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think they
I
do
think they are
have,
gonna upgrade.
I do think they have like a lot of modern tech that they haven't used yet, but
Yeah, for sure. I think they haven't used half of their like capabilities.
yeah.
Like they have so much air force.
Yeah, the whole superiority thing is very weird.
Yeah.
Because if there's not enemy pilots to shoot down, like, do you want to just want to go bomb shit? But then there's a lot of surface to air, like anti-air missiles, so
Mhm.
it's the same thing with tanks. Like, if you have a tank without infantry, if you have a plane without tanks, like, they're
Yeah.
kind of pretty vulnerable.
But I still think Russia is gonna overpower
Yeah,
Ukraine
yeah.
in the end.
All right.
Final guess. That's my answer.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Bye.
Bye.